OTE High School Football Game of the Week from the Edwards Air Force Base. A gorgeous evening. Got right around 80 degrees today. Temperature at kickoff time right at about 70 with absolutely no wind at all. Just a ever so slight breeze now coming out of the west. The eye back is LaCroix. He stands way deep now behind Tony Dobrowski. LaCroix gets the fake. Dobrowski's going to throw. The man is open and complete inside the 10-yard line at about the 8. It's Joel DeVos. DeVos made a great catch, and Ron Manu had to bring him down, along with some help from Butch Caston. Caston, 5'11", 175 junior, in from Italy, and so they had to do a number on him. Otherwise, great speed by DeVos would have scrambled for that corner. And now, with first down and goal to go, with the white uniforms, the Bears, all in purple are the Scorpions. From the 5 now, they say. Dobrowski hands it off to LaCroix over the right-hand side, in toward the goal line. He's going to be stopped short. LaCroix just blasted over the right tackle, over David Lemma and Mike Manning's hole. Defensively, Nolan got over there for some help. Manu as well. Pat Gaskell. So it's 7:47 till halftime. It's second down, and they have about on the 1-yard line. The Scorpions defense is going to have to rise to the occasion. They'll hand it off to their fullback. It's Deal. He's over the right-hand side for a touchdown. Tom Deal, a 1-yard touchdown as he got behind Bumstead and Manning's block. They opened up just enough hole for him to get that yard. So on the scoreboard with 7:33 to go, give the touchdown to Deal. They'll line it up now for the point after by Smith. Smith will line it up. He's the old orthodox type of kicker. The ball is down the tee. It's high enough and far enough, and it is good. So the Bears have 7, and the Scorpions have nothing with 7:33 to go till halftime.
There's nothing like a good football game to work up a healthy appetite. All that cheering and hollering can sure make you hungry. And there's nothing like McDonald's to satisfy those hunger pangs. You tried those tasty chicken McNuggets yet? You'll love them. Or how about a filet-of-fish sandwich or the trusty Big Mac? For large appetites, McDonald's has the quarter pounder plus great fries and hot cherry or apple pies to top it off. After the game tonight, why not meet at McDonald's, where they do it all for you?
The Scorpions are going to have to play comeback football. They trail in this one 7-0 tonight. 7:33 to go till halftime. And Michael, you're looking good there on camera tonight. Excellent shot of the booth by Herb Nero down there on the field camera. Always does an outstanding job. And of course, Bill is up on top of the press box. With 7:33 to go, the Scorpions hopefully will gain some good field position. They're going to have 3 deep men to try to run it back. Butch Caston, Pat Gaskell, and Milt Johnson will be the deep men. They're all near their own 20. Smith will kick it off from the far hash mark from his own 40-yard line, and a very high, short end-over-end kick at the 30-yard line. The up team is going to gain some good field position out near the 36-yard line. They're going to bang him on down. It might be all the way to the 39, as Vigil was right in close on one of the up teams. Got them some pretty good field position on that. Looks like he possibly kind of hit that one a little fat. His foot hit under the ball possibly, Mike.
Yes, he did get under that a little bit. Something I noticed when the Scorpions were going onto the field, it looks like their quarterback Sands was running in with just a little bit of a limp. So maybe he got injured in that last series of downs. He did not look very sure of himself going into the huddle.
If he has to go out, Pat Gaskell will take his place, according to Leroy Matthews tonight. High formation, Sands down the line of scrimmage, and they're going to hand it off to their fullback. That's Gaskell, and he rolls to the outside, but the Bears string him out. But we have an infraction out on the field, as it looks as though a little bit of movement came before the ball was snapped. Okay, we have 7:04 to go with the score. The Bears 7 and the Scorpions nothing.
I'm Richard Carpenter, inviting you to see Antelope Valley's most exciting country living, the Concord Estates. Nestled high on Anaverdi Hills, totally hidden from the Antelope Valley Freeway, just 2 minutes away. Each Concord home is situated on a 1-acre view site. Plenty of room for doing what you want. Room for horses, plus a pool and a tennis court, too. Concord homes are the epitome of elegant executive living, over 2,000 square foot and every quality and luxury feature you could want. Even a microwave oven in the large country kitchen, a formal dining room, and a magnificent master bedroom suite that's a must-to-see. We're delighted to offer 12% financing over 29.5 years with fixed interest for 15 years. Another reason that Concord 1-acre estates from $155,000 are an outstanding country living value. Our Carpenters Real Estate professionals are fully qualified to structure your financing and, if you wish, sell your present home. See Concord Estates any day from 10 to 5. Take the Antelope Valley Freeway to the Avenue S exit, go west for half a mile, and you're at the gate to Concord Estates, an exciting country living.
Ask about 11% interest and home trade-in plan now available on Concord Estates.
Ooh, chicken. Chicken McNuggets.
Ooh, McNuggets.
McDonald's McNuggets. A McNugget is a boneless chunk of tender tasted chicken with 4 kinds of sauce to choose, especially for dipping. Barbecue.
Hot mustard.
Sweet and sour.
Honey, too.
'Cause you deserve a break today.
With chicken cooked the McDonald's way. Ooh, McNuggets.
Chicken McNuggets.
For excellence in fine dining and lodging in the Antelope Valley, it's the Desert Inn Motor Hotel and Restaurant. Enjoy the coffee shop's $5.95 prime rib special each Friday and Saturday night. Don't miss the Sunday morning champagne brunch in the beautiful Granada Room. And relax each evening with dancing and good music. The Desert Inn can also help with your banquet needs. Have your friends and relatives stay in luxurious lodgings with heated swimming pools and a unique gift counter in the lobby. That's the Desert Inn Motor Hotel and Restaurant, 44219 Sierra Highway.
The Scorpions have it first and 15. They'll give it off. Oh, what a hit as it came right up across the middle. That was Gaston, and he ran out of the I-back position. Great acceleration off the ball. He crossed the 35 to the 36, but he ran into Bumstead and Clausen along with Sievers, and they nailed him a lick. Coming off the field now, Ronald Manu, the tight end, Ken Modica will replace him. Also coming out is Butch Caston. Now Mitch Johnson wide to the near side. Vigil is back in. Sands sets the offense. Double tight end. Sands drops to throw in the pocket. He has time. Pumps. Throws long. The man's off, but it is in and out of his hands. Milton Johnson had touchdown written all over the ball as he got in the seam in double coverage and got behind him a good step or two, and he should have gone all the way.
He should have had that just at the last moment. One of the safety men for Big Bear flashed his hand across. That might have been just enough to deflect his attention. But that was a fine pass by the young sophomore Sands. He laid the ball up into the middle, into double coverage, and just put the ball right on the money. Jackson was able to get the ball in stride. He just missed it. Like you say, that's a missed opportunity. That should have been a touchdown.
The Scorpions come out of the huddle. Wide to the near side, Frank Hernandez. Joe Bill Dryden, the tight end. 6 minutes and 15 seconds. 3rd and 13 for the Scorpions. They're at the 35. Sands drops again. The rush is on. Swings it out to Moy. They're after him, and he breaks a tackle at the 30. Flags are down. He gets all the way out to about the 38-yard line, but flags are down coming from the umpire, and that's a bad indication because that usually shows that somebody held someone.
Especially in a situation like that where the Desert Scorpions are trying to set up a screen. Somebody wants to hold on to their block and then slip off. If the man comes in too fast, he does have a tendency to hold. I think Big Bear will probably decline this penalty, making it 4th down and just get the ball back.
6:05, it was a holding call as the Scorpions retreat deeply into their own territory. So far, the yellow flags have gone against the Scorpions in the first half as Frank Hernandez comes off and Milton Johnson comes right back in. Beautiful night here on the base at Edwards Air Force Base. They spot the ball all the way back on the 20-yard line, and they have a bunch of real estate to make up, 28 yards to be exact. It'll be third down. Now they go with a double wide receivers. They have Johnson over here, and Manu split to the far side. Pro set, Sands drops, has time, good blocking, pumps, throws it out in the flat. It is incomplete. In one-on-one coverage, Corvesi came up with the receiver and hit Ken Modica just when the ball arrived on the scene, and it was almost caught.
Well, Sands looks very good in the pocket, especially here in the second quarter. He looks very confident. He plants his feet squarely. That was a fine throw. It's a situation where you have a man being covered short and deep on his own defense. He just tried to lop the ball in between them, and he threw the ball up, gives the receiver a chance for the catch. Very difficult pass to complete when the Big Bear defense knows what you're going to do.
Fourth down and 28 to go, and the Scorpions are going to take another important timeout. I hope that doesn't come back to haunt them if they need it right in the closing seconds. So with 5:50 to go till halftime, it's the Bears 7, the Desert High Scorpions nothing.
For excellence in dining and lodging in the Antelope Valley, it's the Desert Inn Motor Hotel and Restaurant. Enjoy their coffee shop's $5.95 prime rib dinner special each Friday and Saturday night. And don't miss the Sunday morning champagne brunch in the beautiful Granada Room, and relax each evening with dancing and good music. The Desert Inn can also help you with your banquet needs. Have your friends and relatives stay in luxurious lodgings with heated swimming pools and a unique gift counter in the lobby. That's the Desert Inn Motor Hotel and Restaurant, 44219 Sierra Highway in Lancaster.
We'll have to stop there on the way home, Mike. That sounds very, very good tonight. Fourth down and 28 to go. And Russell will try to bang it out of trouble. Gets a high snap, makes a great catch, and shanks the punt. It's going to be very short. Scorpions are going to reach out and down it, but they better not let it go too far backward. They do. That ball went about 4 yards backwards on the back hop, and they should have alertly down the ball upfield. They lost about 5.
Well, you saw there a couple of Scorpions just sort of flailing at the ball, trying to knock it down instead of just falling on top of it and smothering it. And like you say, Bob, it cost them about 4 or 5 yards. And now Big Bear has very good field position. It looked like their offense was really beginning to click the last time they had the ball on their touchdown drive. So this is a big test for the Desert Scorpion defense.
At the 35-yard line. A lot of time to go for Big Bear. 5.5 minutes till halftime. They're on top 7-0. Doborowski sends Carroll in motion to the near side. Gives it off to his fullback, and that is LaCroix. He's going to be hit real hard just when he gets to the right-hand side. There's not much running room at all over there. As the Scorpions, intense hitting, they're starting to gather around that ball carrier and key on him. Dion Mahoney and Tony Embry, Jonathan Jones and Ken Modica up front. Linebackers are Steve Jesmer, Andrew Nolan, Ron Manu, and Mike Moy. To stay out there most of the night. 4:52 to go. Here comes Carroll in motion to the near side. They'll give it off, and here's going to be a fake. Doborowski throws out to Carroll. He's going to be caught, breaks a tackle inside the 35 down to the 32-yard line. A good job by Ron Manu making the tackle, along with some help from Steve Jesmer. So Manu and Jesmer brought down Carroll, but this is a dangerous offensive play when they swing it out to Carroll.
Well, they freeze the linebackers with that play-action fake, and then they send someone deep, and that just cleans out that flat pass zone. There just isn't anybody to really keep the pass from being completed. And then Carroll shows that he can break a few tackles just in the open field. That makes it a very dangerous play and an easy one to complete because it's such a short pass as far as distance is thrown.
At the 31, they're down in 6. Doborowski throws out in the flat. It is caught at the 30-yard line, hit down at the 28-yard line. Jamie O'Rourke made the catch out in the flats, and a good job by Jesmer in good pursuit. Jesmer got out there along with some help from his D-backs. Gaskell was over there, and Manu as well. But they can throw this football. Tony Doborowski had a reputation of a great passer, and now the Bears are going to call timeout. With 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go till halftime, it's the Bears 7 and the Scorpions nothing.
Why do football fans love McDonald's? Lots of reasons. First, of course, is all that great food. Big Macs, Quarter Pounders, filet-o-fish sandwiches, delicious crispy French fries, piping hot cherry or apple pies, and the latest treat at McDonald's, the McRib sandwich. Football fans love the convenience of McDonald's, too. Fast, friendly service, so you won't miss the opening kickoff. And, of course, everyone loves a good economical meal. No doubt about it, game night is a great time for McDonald's. They do it all for you.
We're going to have to stop there, too, on the way back.
Most certainly.
It's an interesting combination that the Bears go with. They have a multiple offense that, like you say, they do a lot of play-action passing. And that quarterback can run with the ball, too. He likes to tuck it away and fake to two backs, and then he'll roll to either side.
Well, he's a very big quarterback, and also he's very good at handling the ball. And when you have a good quarterback who's confident back there, very strong, and can handle the ball like that, he causes all kinds of problems for the defense.
4th and 5, an important down now for the Scorpions as Carroll comes in motion. They'll give it off on the left-hand side, and twisting and turning is LaCroix. He won't have enough as the Scorpion defense rose to the occasion. Defensively, Jonathan Jones, at 6 foot, 230-pound sophomore, did a good job up front defensively. Brought him down, so surprisingly that they didn't go for the three-pointer from that range.
Well, apparently neither coach has a great deal of confidence in their field goal kicking game. Of course, I think we are kind of spoiled in the Antelope Valley with both Doug True that we've had the last few years, and then now Robles and Dewberry. So that was a pretty long field goal. Would have been about 35, 40 yards. So the coach opted to go for the first down.
From the 27, the Scorpions have the first down now. They'll pitch it on back, and the man is going to be hit and banged down. It's Butch Caston. Caston didn't have any room at all as they strung him out, and Alan Aziel got to him first, 5'6", 148-pound speedster, and he plays the rover position. They have him out there exactly for that reason. He has cat-like moves, and he is going to get to that ball carrier first.
Fine quickness by Aziel. He went right by the pulling guard and was able to break that play up. Gaston had no chance to get to the outside.
It's out near the 22 now. 2nd down and 15 coming up for the Scorpions. 2 minutes and 44 seconds to go till halftime. Big Bear is on top, 7-0. Sands gives it off on the left-hand side, and it's Caston, and he breaks a couple tackles and is hit out of bounds with a good rush up over the 35-yard line. Tony Corvez banged him out of bounds, but a good job of running by that tailback, junior 5'11", 175, Butch Caston out of Italy.
Once again, we saw the sprint draw that they run so well, and Caston just hit that hole very strongly and was able to pick the ball upfield. That takes for the first loss, takes care of that in 3rd and short. Desert needs this first down desperately.
They put it at about the 34. 3rd down and 3. Sands. Oh, and they smelled it coming, and no running room at all as the blitzing linebackers were shooting the gap, and Caston had nowhere to go but down. They were really firing through their receivers, and Aziel, along with Charles Arviso, got to him, and it's back at the 33, where it's going to be punting time again.
Well, good defense by Big Bear. They had 2 blockers in front of Gaston, but he still couldn't get anything. There were a couple of big Bears right on top of him as soon as he got the ball. And now they have to punt again. It'll be interesting to see if Big Bear just sits on the ball after they get it or tries to go deep and get another score here before the end of the half.
The Scorpions are coming in on the special teams a little late. Let's see if they get it off.
Well, that's one of the problems with a small team. Not everybody's always sure when they come off the field if they're supposed to go back on.
Russell gets a good snap, no rush, this time a wobbly one. It's going to go up to Aziel. Aziel catches it at the 38, comes to the left, over the 40 to the 45, all the way out to about the 50-yard line. Alan Aziel did a beautiful job of sidestepping the oncoming first advanced guard, and then he went to the left and found daylight and got a good run back. Beautiful job of running by Aziel. 1 minute and 35 seconds to go. Excellent field position at the 49. The Bears go with Bumstead at center, Davis and Manning at the guards, Caldwell and Lemma at the tackles. A 4-4 defense with 2 cornerbacks and 1 safety for the Scorpions. Doborowski's dropping back to throw, sets up, fires, it's underthrown, intended to his wide receiver out in the flat this time, Steve Berry, but the ball was just a little underthrown, but again, he was open.
Well, once again, Big Bear is going to that play where they just put the flat pass out to the wide receiver and let him let him see what he can get. It's incomplete. They still have a couple more seconds to play. It might be interesting. They might go deep on this one down the sideline, so even if it is intercepted, they really won't lose that much. It'll just be like a punt.
In the white jerseys and red helmets, the Bears from Big Bear. 1:11 to go till halftime. They're on top, 7-0. Dobrowski throws on the flats. Out there is Carroll. Carroll gets it behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to be hit out of bounds at the line of scrimmage right at midfield. Might be a half a yard gain, maybe none at all. We'll have to wait and see whether he stepped out of bounds. Great pursuit out there. Mike Moy got to the outside along with Pat Gaskell, and they hammered him out of bounds, and it looks like he might have about no gain. They put it right at the 50-yard line, call it about a half of the length of the football at most. Now Carroll goes wide to the far side. Jinks is in the slot. Dobrowski back to throw. Flags are down. That'll call it back, and an in and out of the hands of Keith Carroll. And if he would have made the catch, it's going to call it back. It looks like a procedure against the Bears.
Well, again, you have that multiple offense, and always could be something going wrong when you have that many people moving around and switching positions. It's a big break for Desert. Their defense looks a lot better on this series of downs. They really seem to be holding the Big Bear offense and controlling the line of scrimmage with their defensive line, not giving the quarterback as much time to continue with his fakes, and are putting pressure on that man on the outside on those quick flips.
The Scorpions decline it. A minute to go till halftime. 4th and 10. So again, Dobrowski will be back to punt, stands on his own 39. Caston will be the lone receiver inside his own 20. Dobrowski gets a low, and this should be a returner if he gets a good bounce. No, he doesn't. It takes a sharp bite and then goes at the 19-yard line and decides to stop right there. Azeal is quickly downfield to down it, and not the very best of field position with 51 seconds to go till halftime, Michael.
Well, with 51 seconds, Desert just has to be happy to go and just run the timeout and just go to the ball, keep the ball on the ground. They don't want to give up any field position with possibly a mistake, so they'll just run the ball on the ground.
John Vahil at 5'8", 145, only a sophomore, in at the I-back position now. In behind Gaskell. Sands drops, throws, the man is open and in and out of his hands. Ronald Manu was wide open as he went up the seam between the free safety and the outside cornerback, Corvez, and the ball was in and out of his hands once again, and Scott Sands is starting to shake his head. The young quarterback, only a sophomore, getting his first start. As you know, Billy Thomas, their star quarterback, out with a shoulder separation in practice this week. 31 seconds to go till halftime. Sands is getting them to those guys, but the big boys are having a little trouble holding on. Sands, and a mix-up in the backfield. He's going to eat the ball himself, and they sack him way back near the 15-yard line. A mix-up on the play that time, as Sands was going to go on a draw play, but it looked like they just kind of ran together. With 13 seconds to go, 12, and I think that Coach Leroy Matthews won't want to get off another play now. That's going to run the clock down. Final 4 seconds, and stand by. The gun will go off here in about another second. At halftime, at Jones-Davidson Field on the campus of Desert High School, it's Big Bear 7, and the Scorpions from Desert High School, nothing.
The Carpenters invite you to take a short drive to the peaceful beauty that is Concord Estates. Enjoy the 360-degree hilltop view high on the Anaverdi Hills. Explore the exciting design of each Concord home, located on a full 1-acre view site. Every luxury and convenience for elegant executive living, with large country kitchen and family room opening to your beautiful country acre, complete with front landscaping and ranch fencing. And the Carpenters Real Estate Professionals can arrange a home trade-in for just 11% interest financing over 29.5 years with 15-year fixed interest. Concord Estates are open every day from 10 to 5. Take the AV freeway to the Avenue S exit, go west half a mile, and you're at the gate to Concord Estates.
Michael, let's recap what we saw out here in the first half at Edwards Air Force Base. Desert Scorpions come into the ball game 3-0 record, and the Bears from Big Bear are 2-1. However, the Bears outplayed the Scorpions so far in the first half. The scoring was all in the second quarter on a touchdown by Tom Deal, their fullback. He went 1 yard over the right-hand side with 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the second quarter. And then Smith split the uprights for the point after, and that's the way things stand at this time, 7-0 for the Bears from Big Bear. Now the Scorpions, looks as though their biggest opportunity is going to be up top because on the blocking, they're not getting their act together. The Bears are stringing out the play, Mike, and so far these fast running backs are not able to get into the open. They only had one good rush in the early going, and that was by Pat Gaskell. He ran for a big first down. But other than that, the passing seems to be getting these receivers open, but they're not hanging onto the ball.
Well, the offensive line is just not opening any large holes with any kind of consistency. And that's one of the most important things. If you want to try to establish a running game, you have to have the holes, or else the running back can't run through them. Any running back needs a hole through the line of scrimmage to be able to move the ball downfield. So like you say, they do, even though they can't seem to move the Big Bear line and get some holes, they can seem to hold them out and give Sands some time to throw. And he shows himself to be a competent quarterback with a good arm. He just needs his receivers to hang on to the ball in a couple situations, and this game could be a lot different.
Mike, does he remind you a little bit of Kenny the Snake Stabler? He has kind of a soft arcing ball that he throws. He gets back in the pocket, and for only a sophomore, he's just very calm, cool, and collected, and he just kind of lofts that thing out there just about like the Snake would do.
When you get a young quarterback, a lot of the time you see them just fire the ball as hard as they possibly can. They have a good arm and they want to show it off. Sands shows a lot of maturity. Like you say, he's lofting the ball. And that ball to Jackson that was wide open in the middle for the touchdown, that was a beautiful ball right in his hands, about 35 to 40 yards downfield. And it was right to him. And Johnson should have had the ball. He dropped it. I got it now. It is Johnson. And again, the ball he threw to the corner when they were moving the ball and it was fourth down. That was another fine ball, just a little bit too soft on the throw. He does seem to be, like you say, he has a fine touch on the ball, and that shows some maturity as a quarterback.
It's interesting to note that Mike Moy has an awful lot of rest on the sidelines. I wonder if he has been feeling okay all this week. Leroy Matthews didn't indicate that he's having any trouble, but of course he has to go both ways as an outside left linebacker. But we expected to see him in there most of the time, but he's getting relieved by Pat Gaskell and also John Vaheel several times.
Well, Big Bear is a very big defensive team, and Coach Clifton just might, or excuse me, the coach for Desert, Matthews, probably just wants to give him a little bit of rest. He doesn't want him getting beat up. Like you say, he's got to play both offense and defense, and he seems to have a couple of other runners or running backs that can do a fine job. He might be trying to save him for the defense because they need that 6'2" 213 frame in the linebacking line.
Earlier in the week, Billy Thomas, we had mentioned this at the start of the show tonight. Billy Thomas took that football team to the CIF championship in the Inland Conference last year, and they were expecting so many great things out of him. Well, he's taken them to 3 straight victories so far in this young season. However, during practice this week, they scrimmage, they hit out here all the time, and he's out with a shoulder separation. So that would be the reason why Sands has to play. So it's interesting, since all of the ball games so far for the Scorpions have been close, they haven't had a chance to get Sands some game experience.
And that was what Coach Matthews was saying at the beginning of the game when you were talking to him at the beginning of our program. They wanted to get him a little bit more time, a little bit more game experience while they were in their preseason. But like you say, it's close games. They didn't have the opportunity to, and now the coach just hoping that their number one man, Thomas, doesn't go down. He did, and now they have to hope that Sands can come through if they're going to repeat as Inland Conference champs.
Let's pick up the action out on the field with the Desert High Scorpion Marching Band, and the gals doing a great job. But let's pick up the noise and all the action and all the good sound that they have. Herb, it is beautiful out there, isn't it?
It's cold but beautiful. Oh, yeah, the one thing this particular game, out of all the high school games, it's hard to remember these are high school kids. They're playing like college, definitely. It's a good game so far. A lot of action on the field, at least.
Some rough hitting right down next to you on that field camera.
Well, that's the story of my life, though. I mean, they've never shown the front of my jacket on the camera. There's a big cross on there, and that's where they go for. But it's an exciting game on the field. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, Herb Nero doing double duty as the field cameraman for all of these football games, both the high school and college games, and also has that Party Line show on KKZZ every weekday morning. You don't want to miss that one because you'll miss all the action and all the controversy in the Antelope Valley. Now, let's go out on the field and pick up the music by the Desert Scorpion Band. That's the Scorpion Marching Band, and they're all decked out in their blue pants and white tops and big white hats, and all of the gals, of course, are dressed in the customary school colors of purple and white. Beautiful outfits, and they do a great job performing here at halftime at Desert High School. In case you joined us late, you're listening to KOTE, Lancaster, on the high school football game of the week for the very first time out on the Edwards Air Force Base. And Mike, we haven't been out here before. It's a beautiful setup. They have some unusual lighting arrangements. The press box is new and pretty accommodating.
Well, when you consider it's a small campus and small student body, they've done a fine job. The field's in pretty good shape. It gets a lot of use both with the Desert High School and, of course, with some of the base personnel here at Edwards Air Force Base. And the press box does have almost enough room for all of us here, but then it wasn't designed for radio and television and then everybody else that's here. But fine facilities here at Desert High School for a football game.
It'd be interesting to note if Bill Warford from the Ledger Gazette, he left the Ledger. He's now with the Valley Press. So, Bill, if you're listening, he's a sports writer for the Valley Press. If he's out and around, he's supposed to be joining us. We hope that he didn't take the wrong turn and end up at Mojave here tonight. So, yes, sir.
Is it cramped up here?
No, I think we have room for about one more person, but he or she better be like about 100 pounds maximum.
We can start throwing people out if you want. I mean,
Herb Nero, boy, he has dual role here tonight as the field cameraman, and also he gets to be up here in the press box at halftime. Mike, let's set the action here in the second half. What in the world is Leroy Matthews going to have to do with his offense to get something on the scoreboard early? Because I think if they come out in the same type of motion that they went in the opening quarter or so, they're going to get themselves in a hole, and before you know that Big Bear's probably going to get more points.
Well, what Matthews might try to do right off the bat is get some consistency in his running game. If he can't get any consistency in his running game, he might just throw the running game out the window and just try and pass the ball. The running game, as you've been pointing out, they haven't been getting the holes there consistently. They haven't gotten any consistency whatever. They've only had one real good drive. There were a couple of fine runs by Gaskell in particular coming down the near sideline. I think if they're going to win this game, they're going to have to go to the air. They're just going to have to put some confidence in Sands and just keep firing up the ball and hope that his receivers can hang on to it, because they have been getting open and Sands has been getting the ball to them.
We're here at halftime at Desert High School with the score Big Bear 7, Desert nothing, and we'll take this pause.
For excellence in dining and lodging in the Antelope Valley, it's the Desert Inn Motor Hotel and Restaurant. Enjoy their coffee shop's $5.95 prime rib dinner special each Friday and Saturday night. Don't miss the Sunday morning champagne brunch in the beautiful Granada Room, and relax each evening with dancing and good music. The Desert Inn can also help with your banquet needs. Have your friends and relatives stay in luxurious lodgings with heated swimming pools and a unique gift counter in the lobby. That's the Desert Inn Motor Hotel and Restaurant, 44219 Sierra Highway in Lancaster.
As far as the volleyball team is concerned from Desert High School, they defeated Silver Valley today. JV scores 15-9 and also 15-9. The varsity won 15-4 and 15-13. So this volleyball team out here at Desert High School is extremely tough, off to a fast start this year as well. We mentioned before, Mike, that the Desert Scorpions are ranked number 6 in the CIF Inland Conference this week, and after the 3 victories, they're on the move, but they're going to have to continue to win to stay up in those rankings.
Well, of course, again, like we were saying, that's with Thomas at quarterback, so now there's all kinds of problems with Thomas out. This is a very tough conference. There's a lot of good football teams here with Tehachapi, with Big Bear itself, with Desert. There's going to be a lot of problems for them if Sands doesn't come through, if they don't get some consistency. Their defense just can't keep taking all the burden of making the big plays and giving the ball to the offense in good field position.
Very spirited crowd out here tonight, Mike. And, of course, not all of these people necessarily live on the base, because I know Leroy Matthews, the head coach, lives right in Lancaster.
Well, you have people from the base and, like you say, people from Lancaster, and they do have a fine crowd out here tonight. They seem to be out and enjoying themselves, haven't been really ragging on the officials that much. They've been good sports about the whole thing and just seem to be enjoying a good football game, cheering for the home team.
We're waiting to find their principal, Don Smith, that hasn't been able to get through the crowd and get up here to the booth so far. So roughly about another 3.5 minutes before the football teams come out. Mike, away from the Desert Inyo League, of course, Tehachapi and Desert always have to be the big contenders in the Desert Inyo League. But Roseman this year is looking very well. They almost beat the same Scorpion team in double overtime last week, and they came up just a little bit short. They put on a great show. The week before that, they knocked off Silver Valley by a score of 39-0.
Well, Roseman was starting to come around last year. They played a couple teams very tough in the football season, and they just 1 year older and 1 year together with a little bit more experience. They might be the dark horse. They might sneak up on a